afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're in. In my part of the world, it's going on 1, so it'd be good afternoon. Welcome to build day 24. And we are now officially on stage 3. I have 5 tubs left downstairs. Stuff I'm not quite ready for yet. But I did bring out all my electrical stuff. I have 4 boxes plus the camera. I have 1 or 2 other things I'm going to bring out too when I'm ready for them. And Kelly's having fun exploring the snakes. We're in stage 3. First day of stage 3. We got stage 2 done yesterday. Now my plan originally, what I was thinking about doing last night, was getting all this stuff into place. And then doing the power pole and the trunk lines and that, all that type of stuff. I'm thinking though, I want to be able to test things as I put them out. So, I'm going to reverse that. We're going to do like we normally do. I've got to get the hay slid down out of the way so we can get this monstrosity here. This is my power pole. Got to get the hose off and the garbage cans. But this power pole goes kind of right up where that hay is sitting. You got to get into place, and this black cord down here where my foot is a power hookup. I got to run it down here into the shop and hook it up to the circuit breaker box. That is going to be stage 1 of, or step 1 of stage 3. We're going to get the power pole into place, get it hooked up, which means I can plug those cords in, which run down the wall here. And over underneath the tape there to this. This is my power station. I've showed you that before. And currently right now I have low voltage on here working. I do not have the outlets working yet because they're not plugged into the power pole. By the time I'm done hooking up the power pole, these will be working and ready to go. So we're going to work on that now. I want to get this power box of mine 100% working. And I think we're going to say the hell with it and go ahead and get the trunk lines ran too. I pretty much have an idea where they need to go anyway. So we're going to do that. Now yesterday, build day 23, I forgot to do breakfast of the day. And since it's already afternoon, I can't do breakfast of the day now, so you're going to get lunch of the day. Leftover pepperoni pizza. That is your meal, and then whatever you want to drink. I'm going to put the camera down. We're going to get to work because we got a lot. Okay, took a little bit. The power pole is 100% working, and everything's been checked and everything's functioning the way it should be. It takes me a while to get that thing hooked up. There's only, 12 connections, but it takes forever. Because the circuit breaker box is what we call live. In other words, it has power to it. If it was a dead circuit breaker box, in other words, no power to it, it goes real quick. But with it being live, I go real slow because I don't want to end up curling my hair, my toes, my fingers, or whatever else getting shocked. So that means this is 100% live. I got that plugged into T1. Throw the switch, it turns off. Throw the switch again, it turns on. And I've checked all 4. T1, T2, T3, and the blow-up circuit. They're all hooked up. And all working. Now I've also gone through and labeled them. I have 2 30-amp breakers in the shop. And I have an air compressor plugged into both of these, which gives me about 15 amps extra if I need it. And then T2 and T3 are 15 amp breakers. So I've got about 90 amps worth of power here. Now I have a 3rd smaller air compressor. I'll run an extension cord from it into my basement workshop, and I'll plug it in there. And that will be a dedicated 15 amp service as well. So 90... It's about 105 amps I use on regular power, and I probably only use about 40 amps, if that, to run the whole haunt. And probably way less than that, really, because I don't have that many electrical items. Now that the power box is up and running, it's time to turn to these here. And these are my trunk lines. They're a construction grade multi-plug extension cord. You can get these at a lot of places. Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, what have you. But they're not construction grade. They're thinner wire. The wire housing on here is about half the size on some of the others. This one being construction grade, it's heavy duty. And all it is a 25-foot extension cord that has plug-ins every so often. There's 3 on here altogether. Now what I do is I'll stretch this out along the top of the walls in my 3 areas where I need them, fasten them down, and then I'll run an outdoor extension cord from this back to the power box, which will control each one by the switch up here, so I can kill each one as needed. And what I end up doing is, because these things only have one outlet on them, like that one there is one that's in the middle of the cord. You can see the cord going out on either side there. After I get that put in, I will go through and put one of these in. Okay, see if I can get one loose, one-handed here. Ah, come on. Hold on. There we go. And it's just a 3-way T. I'll plug one of these into each of the various outlets on here. It allows me to run 3 extension cords off of it and drop it down into the display. Now I'll go ahead and put one of these on each of the outlets as I'm putting this in, and as I'm running an extension cord out to an area. If I get to one where I only have one extension cord plugged into this, I'll take it off and just plug it straight into the power cord. But it makes it nice. Then once all the electricity is hooked up, I'll come back through with some clear saran wrap, and I'll wrap the hell out of these connections so water cannot get into them at all. And we'll kind of water protect it that way, because these things sit up on top of the wall right out in the weather. And I think last year was the first time in years where we kept blowing the circuit breaker. Couldn't figure out why. Ended up, we had a lamp over in the Gypsy display. I forgot to put a cover over it. And water was, at that time, the Gypsy display was over by the house. Water from the house was pouring right down on top of that lamp, so every time I turned it on, it'd blow the breaker. I unplugged the lamp, problem fixed. The lamp was dead the rest of the season. This year it's under a 10, so I won't have that problem again. But you do need to kind of keep an eye too on where you have your electrical items at. You don't want water getting into them. That helps a lot. But now that the power pole's hooked up, I am going to start here with this wall, and we'll run it straight down the driveway, zip tying it in place as needed, and then running an extension cord over and getting it hooked up to the power box. And then we'll do number 2 the same way, and number 3. That's the next part of getting power into the home. Okay, guys and girls, all 3 trunk lines are in. They're powered up and working. Not a problem. Trunk line 3 is a bitch. That's the only trunk line out of the 3 of them that runs across the ground. So anywhere it crosses a path, I have to trench and bury the line so people aren't tripping over it. And this year there was 2 areas. Actually, almost every year there was 2 spots, one in Sue Ann's display and one in the graveyard. I had to trench it and bury it. The power box 100% working now. That means I got 1 area powered up, and that's the photo op. So the big kitty is working, or the little kitty is working with his jack-o'-lantern. And I don't know if it's coming up on camera. We'll try zooming in. His eyes are working. I got that plugged in. Now for right now, that's all that's powered out here. I still have another electrical line that will drop down behind the screen and come out over here for the projector, the fogger, and the bubbler. So I still got that to do. I will do that at a later date. I think for now though, now that we've got power, I'm going to start going through my tubs. And I've got some green light bulbs for the inner side, red light bulbs for the exit sign, plus the vultures up there, the witch. I've got a camera to put in here. They all run off of AC. So I'm going to get those out and start getting those wired up. And I'm just going to start working my way through the haunt. You know, going through those tubs, putting things in that need to be put in, getting them wired up. It's 5:30 now. We're going to be stopping for dinner here in just a bit. Sue's in cooking now. I have no idea what the heck she's cooking. But we're going to keep going until she calls dinner, and then we'll be back at it. Okay, haven't gotten too far, I feel. I made it around. I got all the cameras in. They still need to be plugged in and aimed. That'll probably be in a day or two. I got my peepers out. You know, I'm going to show you those. Those are good. But we did a test. I found some old electric strobe lights. And they work good when you first plug them in, but after they've been running a while, they turn off. Which is why I haven't used them in ages. I was going to put a couple in each of the tube hallways. But, so I got to go through and take those down. That was a failure. And we're going to end up using some of my flicker floods in here instead. We haven't decided on what colors yet. Here, let me turn off my head cam. And there's my peepers up there. Put them up in the tree. Now I can get these dang foam cloth pool noodles off of me. God, that's the problem about being tall and going through there. You end up wearing the pool noodles. But they flicker at a different rate, each one. And I'm focusing on one there and it hasn't turned on yet. Yeah, there we go. But there are 9 of them up in that tree, and I'll be adding some spotlighting as well to it. So we've gotten all the peepers in that we needed. We tested those floods. I'm going to take them out real quick. And then I was also able to get, and I know you can't see now, because we're in the tube hallway. And I didn't turn on my headlamp, and I'm being strangled by tubes. Ah! Definitely need to get my floods in here. There, out of it. Now we're into Spider. You go over there, you can see the house light a little bit. Good God. People are, like Shuan says, keeps saying, people are going to have fun with that tube hallway this year, regardless of whether I have strobes in there or what. Now while I was going through, I was into this tub. Here's where I found the peepers, and I found the strobes buried in there as well. I also found a couple of misters. I'm going to go get these put into the witch and the scrying bowl. Either that or the scrying bowl and something else. I don't know. We've got 3 or 4 things that take the misters. Scrying bowl, the teapot, the cauldron on the hearth, and the fountain in the pirate. And they'll all eventually get their misters as I find them. But they're buried in these boxes, and it's just a matter of sorting through the boxes. So right now I'm going to go take down my strobe lights, and then we'll mess around with those misters. I will not have those plugged in tonight, but they will be out there and ready for plugging in hopefully tomorrow. Alright, end of the day wrap up. I didn't realize what time it was getting to be. I got 2 misters out of 4 put in. I did the scrying bowl and the hearth on the fireplace and the witch. So they have their misters. And Carrie's running all over the place. She's hyper tonight. Again. We just got done moving the truck, so she's all excited. Let's see. Order of business today. Started out not doing hunt stuff. We went grocery shopping. Bought enough food to last us almost a month. I'll still need to get pop and milk in that time. But other than that, I think we've got everything we need for a month. And it's not fun bringing groceries in from the front end of the haunt, through the maze, into the house. It's better when it's just a straight shot in. I got the backyard mowed, got it edged, and I blew off part of the driveway and the patio. Morgan came out. It's been about 5 hours, roughly, off and on, because it was hot. She kept taking breaks, and raked. Got 6 garbage cans full of mainly leaves and grass. There was a lot of leaves from that windstorm. She still has to sweep the haunt, and got, I don't know if they're coming out, but crap ton of leaves in here, probably another 2 garbage cans full of leaves, and she's going to take care of that tomorrow. She was a busy girl today. After that, we came out, we got the power pole in, which took a while. We got all 3 of the trunk lines in, which took a while. And then we started doing electrical. We got the photo op up and running as far as a 12-foot Skelly's eyes and the blow-up cat. It's all controlled by the power box. Now I throw one switch, they turn on. I throw it again, and they turn off. We got all the cameras in, got all the peepers in, and I got 3 misters put in. That's as far as we made it on electrical. Doesn't sound like much, but it took a while to do some of it. The peepers take a while, trying to get them positioned the way you want them. There are 3 strings of peepers in the tree over there in Swan's display. And that trying to fight the props that we have put in, plus the tree, plus the lights. Glad it's done and over. Tomorrow on the docket, I've got to finish going through these tubs. A lot of light bulbs to put in here and there, flame pots, candelabras, all sorts of mishkabibble stuff. All electric, all needs to go into their displays, into their spots, so I can then turn around and start wiring everything, so everything on the AC side works. And that's going to take a while. Or hopefully we'll get into that tomorrow as well. I don't see me taking all day to put in 3 tubs worth of stuff. Most of it's light bulbs. But, you know, running the wiring and everything always takes a while. But anyway, with that, tomorrow night, depending on how far we get, you might get some nighttime footage of some of the AC stuff turned on. Won't be anything really spectacular, a flame pot here, or a candelabra there, what have you. But, might do that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. See if you guys are good little boys and girls out there. With that, I'm going to say goodnight. Stay spooky. Stay toxic.